The following is a presentation of WEGL 91.1 FM, your home of Auburn Club Hockey.
After a disappointing loss last night to an in-state rival to be named later, the now 3-1 Tigers look to get back in their winning ways here again today. Auburn, who got out to a slow start in last night's contest, could not get an answer and come back late in the game, scoring 2 in the third before falling 5-2 to the Frozen Tide, who are now down a goalie due to a potential season-ending injury from last night, coming into today's match with a 2-1 record and 26-0 in program history against the club ice hockey team of the Auburn Tigers. Expect a chippy match tonight with a combined 9 penalties in yesterday's game, totaling 18 minutes of power play action. Live from the Pelham Civic Complex, Blaine Tucker, Riley Brill, and Aiden Kowalski on the call for today's action. What's looking to be an action-packed Iron Cup matchup between Auburn and Alabama. Riley, I know it was very physical last night. We both were there to call it. We witnessed it. Talk to me about what might transpire today.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Aiden, nine different penalties last night, 18 minutes of power play action. Half of those coming from roughing penalties after the whistle was blown. Playing less than 24 hours ago, both of these teams are going to be geared to go mad at each other. Hopefully to resolve some differences that came up yesterday. It's going to be very physical, very chippy today out on the ice.
I got a text from you last night, probably at around 10 or 11 o'clock. You saw and met the team at Whataburger after the match. What did you learn from them?
Yeah, last night I met about half the team at Whataburger after the match, and they were saying that goalkeeper for the Frozen Tide, Sam Schillings, will likely be out for the season. He probably won't make an appearance tonight. Last season he went out with a back injury, and he has had a reoccurring groin injury this season and pulled it, strained it, something during yesterday's match. He won't be out on the ice tonight.
I know Auburn scored a combined 27 goals in their first 3 contests at home. Their first away match didn't turn out how they wanted to be, losing 5-2 just last night against the Frozen Tide here at the Pelham Civic Complex. What are your keys for tonight's game? I know they didn't get off to a hot start scoring-wise.
Yeah, like you said, they definitely didn't get off to a hot start scoring, but they really need to find the back of the net tonight. They excel with scoring goals, scoring many, and scoring often. They got to continue that and get back on the right tracks away from home today.
We're about 5 minutes away from puck drop here. Don't go anywhere. First period coverage between the Tigers and the Frozen Tide is next. You've been listening to the Auburn Hockey pregame show on WEGL 91.1 streaming platforms.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. Darren College, a former NFL Super Bowl champion, signed the most important contract of his life to serve in the Army National Guard.
I've had a lot of military in my family. It's a big part of what my family's done for a long time. I want to go out there and make a difference. I didn't find that working behind a desk, so for me it was a pretty easy decision to make. And then the opportunity to serve my community and serve my country was just icing on the cake.
To learn how to be part of the Army National Guard, log on to NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Our daughter might be drinking or taking something else. We can't talk with her about it. She keeps everything secret. But when I pretend everything is okay, I'm keeping secrets too. My therapist suggested Al-Anon family groups. It was helpful to hear what other parents said. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Anderson, and on TV, I play a dad who has it all. But growing up, my real life was very different. My parents taught me that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. That's why they each had life insurance to take care of the future. I got my first policy when I was 18. Now, would your family be okay if something happened to you? If you can buy a latte, you can buy life insurance. It's that affordable. Join me in taking care of our family's futures at lifehappens.org.
A public service message from the nonprofit Life Happens.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Darren College, a former NFL Super Bowl champion, signed the most important contract of his life to serve in the Army National Guard.
I've had a lot of military in my family. It's a big part of what my family's done for a long time. I want to go out there and make a difference. I didn't find that working behind a desk, so for me it was a pretty easy decision to make. And then the opportunity to serve my community and serve my country was just icing on the cake.
To learn how to be part of the Army National Guard, log on to NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Our daughter might be drinking or taking something else. We can't talk with her about it. She keeps everything secret. But when I pretend everything is okay, I'm keeping secrets too. My therapist suggested Al-Anon family groups. It was helpful to hear what other parents said. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Anderson, and on TV, I play a dad who has it all. But growing up, my real life was very different. My parents taught me that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. That's why they each had life insurance to take care of the future. I got my first policy when I was 18. Now, would your family be okay if something happened to you? If you can buy a latte, you can buy life insurance. It's that affordable. Join me in taking care of our family's futures at lifehappens.org.
A public service message from the nonprofit Life Happens.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to the Pelham Civic Complex. Aiden Kowalski alongside Riley Burrell getting set for today's action. Riley, I know you got the lines, but before that, 20 minutes on the clock here in Pelham, Alabama. It's going to be a good one today.
Oh, of course it is. These two teams played less than 24 hours ago. They know each other. They're staring each other down. They're ready to play.
Starting lineups tonight for your Auburn Tigers. Number 97, Sam Edwards. Number 16, Blake Robeson. Number 23, and Stephen Verone, who had a goal last night. Number 7, Henry Humphrey. Number 5, Jake LeBlanc. And in the goal tonight is Hayden Harris, as the referee is just getting out set. First puck drop here momentarily. And we are underway. It's 2:35, and we have started to go. Auburn with possession of the puck. Out toward mid-ice near the blue line. Out to Edwards. 19:47 to go in the first. No 0-0 score. Out to Humphrey. Alabama picks it off. Dangerous pass on the inside. Working his way up is Verone. Verone now takes a shot from the blue line and snagged there from Chandler Hill. Of course, last night, Sam Schillings got injured. Questionable return. He is on the bench tonight, so if anything does happen, need be, he could possibly come back into the game, but that's not what you saw, Riley.
Yeah, they were saying he's got a back injury last year that kept him out of the season, and reoccurring groin injury. Don't know how serious it is yet, but he's likely not going to play today or for a while.
So Chandler Brown to win the faceoff, recovered from Brandon Weiss. Weiss now gets it picked off from Newton. Newton working his way up, pass up to Renger. Renger at the blue line, takes a shot deflecting off the stick of Ryan Scott of Auburn. The puck right behind the Auburn goalie. Out to the blue line, another shot, stopped by Harris. Quickly pushed back out, Auburn with possession. The captain, Chandler Brown, now has control at mid-ice. The puck right in front of Auburn bench. From the blue line, the shot from Blanding, well off the mark. 18:53 to go here at the Pelham Civic Center. Still no score. In last night's contest, a lot of rough action we saw. Right behind the goal is Jack Driggs. Shot taken from Scott, but blocked. Renger coming up the near side. At the blue line, splitting his defender, shot off the body of Harris. 2 saves quickly from Hayden Harris, the goalkeeper for the Auburn Tigers. With it is Alabama. Picking it off is Haggerty. Haggerty now at the blue line. And we'll have our first line change of the night with 18:23.
Yeah, stoppage in play there because of offside. Puck just barely crossed the blue line back into the neutral zone, causing us to stop play here. 18:20 to play.
So we'll have a face-off on the near mid-ice red dot. Up with it is TJ Lancaster behind the Alabama goal. The Frozen Tide come into today's action 2-1. 2 wins last week against Ole Miss, and then last night defeating Auburn for the 26th consecutive time in club program history by a score of 5-2, so they'll continue their winning ways. Auburn just trying to get back on their winning streak. Of course, this is their first road test of the season.
Yeah, the first road game last night didn't go so well for them, but hopefully they can turn things around today, find the back of the net, score some goals, and hopefully we have a good matchup today.
Face off on the right side. Dangerous puck in the crease. Hayden Harris will fall on it. And it looked like in the mix of it was John Curtin, who tried to backhand it into the net, unsuccessfully doing so. Face off between Haggerty and Kalaman. Kalaman to win it for Alabama. He'll get it picked off back in the hands of Auburn. Loic Harrisau behind Hayden Harris. Whips it around the boards to Brown. Taking it up is Edwards. Edwards who gets it picked off right in front of the Auburn bench. Passes it back to Harrisau. Harrisau, who tried to find Verone, unable to do so. That one will be cleared all the way back to the Alabama goalkeeper. Bama with possession, that's Kalaman. Working his way up the near side, past center ice to Dombrowski, who gets it picked off and a shot from center ice. And Hill will fall on it for another stoppage in play. 17:20 to go in the first period, still no score.
Yeah, not the best play there from Auburn. They could have quickly gone on the counterattack, but they chose to shoot the puck goalwards instead of looking for a better opportunity and possibly challenging the goaltender even further.
Beach on the far right side to win the faceoff for the Tigers. He'll get it taken there from DeLeese, who has it. Working his way up, and Auburn's attacking third. Now off to mid-ice is Alabama with the puck. A great move right at the logo. Verone falling backwards And a shot taken, but off the mark. Auburn maintains possession now. Up with it is Roos. And will clear it. Couple line changes coming into the game for Auburn is J.J. Blanding along with Ryan Scott. Puck battled around on the far side, and Auburn's attacking third, still looking to make something happen. This game is already getting very physical.
Yeah, less than 4 minutes in, and we've already got some big hits, some big body checks. It's only going to get more physical as the game goes on.
And like you said, you wouldn't be surprised if you see some gloves drop today. Alabama with the puck, 16:24 to go in the first. Right in front of the both benches. Right in the middle of line changes. The freshman Eric Renger coming back in the game for the Frozen Tide. They'll have possession, whipping it back toward Hayden Harris, the goalie of Auburn. And they'll take possession of it. Splitting his defenders is Stejkal, who gets it taken away from Riley Newton of Alabama. 15:56 to go, still no score. Renger past mid-ice. It's a 2-on-2. He'll take a shot at goal, backhand, unable to go for Alabama. Hayden Harris, 2 big saves. Auburn will get possession again. Verone, Aaron pass up the ice. 15:40 to go. With it now is Newton. Auburn steals it. Quick shot on goal from Chandler Brown and snared by Chandler Hill.
Yeah, Harris kept the Auburn Tigers in the game early here with a good lower pad save on the bottom left corner. He looked ready to looked ready to save the rebound there if need be, but Auburn Tigers cleared their zone and are ready for a face-off in their offensive side.
So it'll be Jack Driggs to win it against Kalaman, and Auburn's attacking third. Auburn looking much more aggressive out today, coming out of the gates much quicker than they did in last night's contest. Still no score here today. We're in the first period with 15:19 to go. With it is Alabama. That's Sam Kalaman on the near side. Auburn looking to make a run. Up the far side is Dombrowski. Dombrowski will take a shot from the blue line, unable to go off the pad of Hayden Harris. Being checked into the boards was Newton. Alabama will have possession. Whipped up the boards right in front of both benches on the near side. Alabama in their red jerseys, Auburn in all white. Puck at the blue line. Alabama, who has it, quickly stolen from Henry Humphrey. And that one will be cleared. And icing is the call here with 14:36 to go. Still no score.
Yeah, no score, 0-0. Some really good opportunities for both teams so far. Just over 5 minutes into the first period.
So the puck will be taken all the way back in Auburn's defending third of things here. Or it'll be Joshua Beese, who had 2 goals in last night's contest in Alabama's 5-2 victory. Will lose it. Taking command of the puck is Humphrey for Auburn. Aaron pass picked off by Kalaman. Alabama trying to set up a play. Pass it over toward mid-ice, unsuccessfully doing so, crossing both blue lines, and icing will be the call, so take that cross-country all the way back in Auburn's attacking third here. Riley, what have you seen so far that you've liked?
What I've liked is both goaltenders have been really comfortable in their nets between the pipes so far. No real reason to call them into action so far. There's been a few opportunities on both sides. Nothing really testing either goalkeeper yet, though.
To face off will be Mike DeLeese up against Blake Robeson to win it for Auburn. Back out, stolen by Renger. Up along the near side, past center ice is Beese. Beese with it on the far side behind Hayden Harris. Blanding to pick it off. Auburn making their charge up the ice. Racing for it is Robeson on the near side. Auburn still in their attacking third, doing a good job here tonight. Renger working his way up past mid-ice. Takes a wide shot. Unable to go. The puck right behind the Auburn goalkeeper. Hayden Harris, known as really the backbone of this team this season, who's only allowed 10 goals in 4 games so far.
Yeah, 10 goals in the whole season, but 5 of those coming last night.
Last night. Now is the stat I was actually going to bring up. He's been pretty stellar behind the net this season. Whipped off the boards on the far side in Alabama's defending third. They'll keep the possession. That's James Martin, the senior defenseman. Out with it is DeLeese for Alabama. 13:01 to go here in the first. Still no score. Newton with it. Alabama has maintained possession for a majority of this first period. Chandler Brown, who tried to pick it off for the Tigers. Passing it upward. Mumford to receive it.
Yeah, like you said, the Frozen Tide have retained a lot of possession this first period, but they haven't seemed to be doing a whole bunch with it so far.
Chandler Brown looking to find Verone. Weiss with a shot. Slap shot inward and stopped by Hill. Harrisau, who whipped it across from the blue line, almost gets Auburn's first goal of the game. Here with 12:22 to go in the first. Still no score. Mumford challenging him is Beese. The puck right behind Hayden Harris. Auburn, who has it, both players tripping, crashing into the boards, is Harrisau. Still in Auburn's defending third now. Coming inward, passing a dangerous pass right behind the crease. Auburn will maintain control on the far side. It's Chandler Brown at the blue line now, splitting a couple defenders. It's him in the goal and stopped. Brown, who still has possession of it, off the iron on the no-angle shot. Alabama will clear.
Yeah, Chandler Brown had a really good opportunity to score there. Unlucky, just good save, though, from Chandler Hill of the Frozen Tide.
Icing will be the call, so the puck coming all the way back in Auburn's attacking third of things. A lot of action we've seen so far. Still no goals with 11:39 to play in this first period.
Yeah, reaching the halfway point almost in this first period as we get to a face-off down in Auburn's offensive zone.
Stephen Verone, who will win it for the Tigers. Brown with it. Near the blue line for the Tigers. Beese, who picks it off for Bama. Right in front of the benches, being cleared behind Harris. In Auburn's defending third of things here, 11:19 to go. Alabama, dangerous pickoff move, but Jack Driggs will command it for the Tigers. We're still here in the first period, still no score. Just under 11 minutes, the puck being bounced around right in front of both benches. No penalties as of yet in an action-filled game last night. Now making his way up is Loic Harrisau, splitting a couple defenders. Backhand try and unable to go. Snaring it once again is Chandler Hill.
Yeah, good move there for Chandler Hill. Pretty good save. Puck was on the ice the whole time, didn't catch any air.
And the story last night, it's the quality shots that Auburn took that you saw lacking of. And really, Auburn's doing a much better job. They're kind of putting more pressure that we've seen on Chandler Hill, the goalkeeper for the Frozen Tide here. Robeson to win the last faceoff. He'll have it behind the Alabama goalkeeper, and a big check. He'll stay on his feet. Going down was DeLeese. Auburn with it being held. Harrisau back out to Scott. Wrister inward. Unable to go. Still in Auburn's attacking third. With it is Verone. Verone near the right dot. Into the slot it goes. Shot taken. Defended. Back to the boards. 10-11 to go here in the first. Still no score. Auburn with it. Having a big opportunity chance. All players falling down right in the middle of the crease. No one knows where the puck is. It's right behind Chandler Hill. Auburn still has possession on the near side. Pass inward toward the slot. And a whistle will finally be blown. Riley, what happened there? Can you even summarize that?
Looked to be a delayed penalty for the Auburn Tigers. They're going to go up on a power play due to a slashing call from number 11 on the Frozen Tide.
That's Joshua Beese. Yep. So he'll be going for this to the sin bin the first time this game. So Auburn off to a hot start and could get their first goal here early on.
Yeah, it didn't look to be anything malicious out of it. Just a common penalty. Nothing too big there. But Auburn's on the power play nonetheless.
Jack Driggs and Sam Kalaman. Kalaman, who had a goal in last night's contest, to face off. On Auburn's attacking third, and they'll clear that into the Alabama bench. It looks like it caught some players there.
Yeah, everybody seemed to jump. I wouldn't want that puck hurling at me.
No, so yeah, it looked like Lundberg on the bench for Alabama got the brunt of the hit. So we'll go back to the right faceoff dot in Auburn's attacking third here with 9:54 to play in the first. Again, it's Humphrey, who will win it for Auburn. Blanding. Now back out to Humphrey, to Blanding. near the blue line. Slap shot taken. Unable to go backhand. And clearing it for Alabama. Now back out to Chandler Brown is in the game. Running into the ref is J.J. Blanding. Blanding now with it. Here with a minute 38 to go on the Auburn power play. With it for Auburn, making his way up is Henry Humphrey. Humphrey behind the Alabama goalkeeper. Chandler Brown. Now out to Blanding once again from the blue line. Brown to Blanding. Out to Humphrey, who will take a wrister inward going off the back glass. A wide shot taken. That'll be cleared into the Alabama bench. That was off the hand of Blanding, who tried to make sure that puck did not get back into Auburn defending third of things here. 9:03 to play in the first, still no score.
Yeah, minutes ago left in the power play for the Auburn Tigers, and that shot, I do believe, hit off the iron there. I don't know if it hit off the back glass, but I heard the clink of the iron off the crossbar.
So a closer shot than we saw here with 8:58 to go. Working his way up is Loic. Harris out for the Tigers. Quickly picked off, almost a shorthand situation. Slap shot from mid-ice, caught by Harris. Here with 46 to go on the Auburn power play. Alabama, who's done a good job so far in these two games of killing power plays, will do it once again.
Yeah, I believe it was last night their first or second goal came shorthanded, actually, on Auburn's first power play of the night. The Frozen Tide snuck one in and got that shorthanded goal.
Puck back behind the Alabama goalkeeper. Out to Verone, being checked in the boards. He'll still have control of the puck. Taking a shot off the glove of Hill. Another shot inward with some mustard on by Brandon Weiss, who's now at the blue line. Verone up with it and clearing it there with 3 seconds on the power play. Alabama will successfully kill it. Still no score here with 7:54 to go in the first.
Yeah, good look from both teams there. Auburn had a lot of shots on goal, and Frozen Tide had a solid defense, a solid penalty kill unit out there that whole 2 minutes.
So here for Alabama. Newton trying to split some defenders. The puck right behind in the corner for Alabama, and Auburn's defending third. The Tigers will come up with it. Weiss now with it at mid-ice on the far end of the rink. 7:23 to go, still no score. Working his way up. Shot taken, stopped by Harris. And Alabama will sneak one through. I believe off the goal from Joshua Beese. I'm not positive of who that was, but it just kind of snuck under the 5-hole underneath the pads of Hayden Harris. Alabama strikes first. It's 1-0.
Yeah, puck was bouncing all around down there. Hayden Harris couldn't get his glove to it and cover, unfortunately, and it's going to end up in the back of the net for the Frozen Tide. Early lead for them, 1-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first period here at Pelham Civic Complex.
So it'll be Brown and Renger, the senior for Auburn and the freshman for Alabama, to face off at center ice here with 7:17 to go. 1-0 is your score off the goal from Joshua Beese, who had 2 last night. A big mid-ice check. No one goes down, though. They'll hold their ground. Alabama with it. Picked off now from Blanding. Blanding for Auburn. Passing it up to Brown. Brown on the near side in front of the Auburn bench. Whips it around the boards. Puck back behind the Alabama goalkeeper, being checked into the boards. Stejkolu did a good job. Auburn with it, and they're defending third. And we're just getting word it was James Martin on the goal for the Alabama Frozen Tide. Working his way up as Chandler Brown on the far side is going to have a shot here. And a big save from Chandler Hill, preventing Auburn's first goal of the game. With it again for Auburn, right in the crease, having to bat it back out is Hill. Weiss, who had the best chance there, shot well wide from Patillo. Now is Brown once again, splitting defenders, shot from the slot, he'll score! Chandler Brown puts Auburn up now. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot from Brown there. Top corner, saw it all the way. Chandler Hill stood no chance.
So Chandler Brown will even things up here at the Pelham Civic Complex with 6:14 to go.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time before Auburn Tigers scored their first goal. The last 3 or 4 looks from them have been looking real promising. They just needed a puck to bounce their way, and it finally did.
Yeah, Brown, who had a beautiful pass right in the slot, just had a one-on-one with Chandler Hill. And Chandler Brown, the captain for the Auburn Tigers, brings it back. We're tied at 1 apiece here with 6 minutes to go in the first. Puck right in front of both benches. Now being whipped around the boards on the Alabama side. Puck in the corner. With it again is Auburn, who will take a wild shot from mid-ice. Check there, Roos going down, getting back up. Alabama in a 2-on-2 situation. That's Kalaman trying to pass inward to the slot, unsuccessfully finding Riley Newton. 5:35 to go in the first. Aiden Kowalski alongside Riley Brull here at the Pelham Civic Complex. Thank you for all those tuning in last night, and of course today in an exciting match, Auburn looking for their first win in program history against the Alabama club hockey team. Of course, previous years it was against their Division I opponent. Now it's the first year of Alabama's Division III team.
Yeah, this is the first time that Auburn Tigers are really seeing this Division III team, aside from yesterday in their 5-2 defeat. But the Alabama Frozen Tide are going to be on a power play after a tripping penalty by number 13, Jack Griggs. They got 2 minutes of a 5-on-4 here for the Frozen Tide.
Auburn, who hasn't done a great job of killing off penalties here this week, is going to have to do so now if they're going to want to keep this at a 1-1 game. Shot taken from Joshua Beese, unable to go. In Auburn's defending third, Blanding with it, looks to clear it down the ice. Stopping it is Martin. Martin for Alabama. Once again, Blanding right in front of the Auburn goal. Has to get it out. Renger in the game for the Tide. Shot taken backhand up the ice, cleared for Auburn. That was Charlie Stechkel, who did a good job.
That was a really good zone clear. Now they get some fresh legs for that penalty kill unit.
And a quick shorthand action right here. It's just him in the goal to beat. And it'll be Hill to knock it out. That was Blake Robeson, who almost had a shorthanded attempt. Of course, Alabama had one last night. Some 3-on-3 action coming up the ice at the blue line for Alabama. Take a shot inward off the pad of Hayden Harris.
Yeah, just a minute here to go for that penalty kill for the Auburn Tigers. They got to really hunker down and get down to basics here.
Upward going inward in the near corner. That's Beese. Beese behind Harris. Taking it up here with 4 minutes to go in the first. Still on this power play is Alabama. Auburn trying to kill it. Just another 30 seconds. Puck wedged in the corner between Patillo and an Alabama defenseman now. Wrister taken off the pad of Harris. Shot was by Anthony Roras for the Frozen Tide. Another wrister taken off the iron, but no goal. Off the pad of Harris. Both teams, another 5 seconds left in this penalty kill, and there will be a stoppage in play with 3:30 to go and 5 seconds of 5-on-4 action. Auburn has done a great job so far.
Yeah, they really have. There's going to be another penalty out on the ice against the Alabama Frozen Tide, number 8, Cameron Dickinson, for cross-checking. So we're going to have 4-on-4 for about 8 seconds, and then Auburn Tigers are going to have just over a minute 50 on another power play.
So tit for tat here at the Pelham Civic Complex. Chandler Brown to face off. They'll win it. A short-handed shot taken from Humphrey. Now back is Auburn with full strength. Here with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Auburn has yet to lead the Crimson Tide here this weekend and can potentially do so with a goal here. A minute 40 to go on the power play for the Tigers. Still a 1-1 game. From the blue line is Humphrey. Humphrey, who will take a wrister inward and score! Auburn goes up 2-1 on the goal from Henry Humphrey, the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. Auburn has their first lead of the weekend.
That is exactly what you want from your power play unit right there. 5-on-4. You got all the open looks that you need all the time. You have the puck in the offensive zone. Take your time, get a quality look on goal, find the back of the net. Auburn are up 2-1.
And my goodness, I've been waiting for that call this entire weekend for Auburn to be back up in their scoring ways. Of course, they scored a combined 27 goals in their first 3 matches this season at home. And now go on top here with under 3 minutes to go. Both teams back on full strength with Verone on the far side. Out to Weiss, back behind the Alabama goalkeeper. And Chandler Hill, who replaced Sam Schillings, who got injured last night. Now working his way up for Alabama is Beast. Beast splitting some defenders from the slot. Harris will stop it. Puck still behind the Auburn goalkeeper in no man's land. Taken out now for Auburn. Puck right in front of the Alabama bench. And it'll be Riley Newton to take it from the blue line. Now with it is Harris out for Auburn, wristing it backwards here with 2:24 to go in the first. Auburn currently leading it 2-1 off of goals scored from Chandler Brown and Henry Humphrey. Up with it now. A shot from the slot. Passing it inward to find Eric Renger, and he'll score the equalizing goal. It's 2-2.
Yeah, some really good work on the stick from the Frozen Tide. He found the back post, slotted it home in that back door, bottom left corner.
So Renger, who had a goal last night, now has a goal today, the freshman from Minnesota. For the Alabama Frozen Tide, we're tied up at 2 apiece in this exciting, action-packed match so far in this first period with 2:07 to go.
Yeah, like you said, very action-packed. We have 4 goals in the first period alone. Less than 2 minutes to play. See if there can be a 5th.
Robeson to win the faceoff. Robeson again, shot from the blue line, off the pad of Chandler Hill. Alabama gaining possession on the far side, working his way up the ice. That's Cameron Dickinson. Excuse me. Auburn who has it on the far side at mid-ice. 1:45 to go, both teams on full strength. Shot taken once again from Blake Robeson, unable to go from the blue line. Right at the Cajun Boys Crawfish logo.
Yeah, we got another face-off here on Auburn's offensive zone. They were really good at these last night. Let's see if they can continue that into today's match.
Robeson to win it, who'll whip it around the backboards. Out to Chandler Brown. Brown with it in the corner. Passes it out to Scott. Scott who will take a shot inward. Unable to go. Almost deflected off the stick of Robeson inward. Alabama now with numbers coming up past mid-ice. That's Mike DeLeese, who spins around and picks it off is Charlie Stejkal. Stejkal with it, giving it up to Verone. Verone, who had a shot deflected there from Rores. A minute to go in the first. Auburn looking to push and score 1 goal. Going inward, blocked there from Chandler Hill. The shot was taken by Caleb Patillo, who had a goal in last night's contest.
Stejkal down on the other end. Really showing some hustle, getting back on defense. Nice stick lift to take the puck away from the Frozen Tide there and turn it into a counterattack for the Auburn Tigers, and they have yet another face-off in their offensive zone.
Jack Driggs to lose the face-off for the Tigers. Now with it is Humphrey. Humphrey in the corner. Passes it up to Haggerty. Haggerty with it, now back out. Shot inward, off the glass from Patillo.
Yeah, that puck's going to go out of play for yet another face-off. Add that to the tally.
Alabama, who scored the first 3 goals in last night's match, here tonight, that's not the story. It's 2-2 in the first with 38 seconds to go. Both teams on full strength. In Auburn's attacking third, the puck is being bounced out near the crease of Alabama. The puck is wedged in the corner. Back behind Chandler Hill. Auburn looking to make one last push here with 17 seconds. But instead it'll be Alabama working his way up along the far side as Beast. Dangerous pass inward near the slot. Going past the stick of Rores. And that will be the conclusion of the first period. It sounds like as the puck will just be bounced out back toward mid-ice. As Alabama and Auburn are currently tied at 2 goals apiece in an exciting first period of play so far tonight. We'll be right back after these messages with second period of coverage.
Darren College, a former NFL Super Bowl champion, signed the most important contract of his life to serve in the Army National Guard.
I've had a lot of military in my family. It's a big part of what my family's done for a long time. I want to go out there and make a difference. I didn't find that working behind a desk, so for me it was a pretty easy decision to make. And then the opportunity to serve my community and serve my country was just icing on the cake.
To learn how to be part of the Army National Guard, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Our daughter might be drinking or taking something else. We can't talk with her about it. She keeps everything secret. But when I pretend everything is okay, I'm keeping secrets too. My therapist suggested Al-Anon family groups. It was helpful to hear what other parents said. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Anderson, and on TV, I play a dad who has it all. But growing up, my real life was very different. My parents taught me that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. That's why they each had life insurance to take care of the future. I got my first policy when I was 18. Now, would your family be okay if something happened to you? If you can buy a latte, you can buy life insurance. It's that affordable. Join me in taking care of our family's futures at lifehappens.org.
A public service message from the nonprofit Life Happens.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
For taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Alabama did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Come on, Dad. I'm running circles around you.
I know, sweetie. Dad's not very fast these days.
What about yesterday? Were you fast yesterday?
No, not...
Or the day before that?
I was...
Or the day before that?
Actually, I wasn't ever really fast. Hard to believe, I know.
Kids are special. Let's treat them that way.
That's okay. When I was little, I wasn't fast either. Now I'm fast, so you'll be fast tomorrow. That's how it works. Now come on.
At St. Baldrick's Foundation, we want kids to be kids, not just during trips to the park, but when they need us most, when they need help fighting cancer. That's why the advanced research we fund is specifically designed to help children.
I'm pooped after all this.
Dad, you're supposed to do that in the bathroom.
Support St. Baldrick's and childhood cancer research today by going to stbaldricks.org and getting involved.
Making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A covenant that split the skies over Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended Khe Sanh. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans a promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Sharing has never meant as much as it does now. We share the things we love most in life for the world to see. But what if we could actually do more with our sharing than just collect likes? What if this sharing could be used to make a difference? Now there's a place where we can put all that sharing to good use. The National MS Society is asking people to make a difference and share what they love with someone else who loves it too. Whether it's surfing, dancing, or whatever is important to you, we've created a place that'll help you get your experience out to the world. If you have a story, share it. If you have a solution, share that too. Join us at wearestrongerthanms.org, because together, we are stronger.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to? Jeffrey.
Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey.
Auburn has the edge, 12-8 over the Frozen Tide.
And of course, a much more action-packed game we've seen today, along with the follow-up from last night. Not as many penalties as we've seen so far. Combined 9 penalties totaling for 18 minutes in the sin bin for both teams. So it's just been really interesting to see. I'm still waiting for maybe the gloves to drop a little later on. That was your prediction, I know.
Yeah, I think it might happen. It probably won't happen until late in the second or sometime in the third. But this game's already a lot more physical than the first period of the last. And it's only going to escalate there. It's a tied-up hockey game here. Tensions are rising. Tempers are flaring. It's going to be an exciting second period. I can't wait to get started here.
And this is no scene for Auburn. Auburn has been part of many, I guess, potential fights, as you could call it, this season. I know against Lynn and Georgia Tech, they just kind of almost wanted to throw down the gloves a couple of times when they kind of got late in the game. It was close. Maybe just the team had enough of Auburn scoring too many goals. Whatever the case may have been, you know, Auburn is one team. Just they're kind of like the bad boys of the league, as I said yesterday, and that's kind of being played true today. I've seen a lot of chirping behind both goals to a lot of players, and I know it was Steven Verone who's behind a lot of that. He usually starts a lot of the action, so it's kind of fun to see him get at it. But, it just kind of shows how much passion goes into these club sports and so on.
Yeah, both teams really want to be here. Auburn is a very physical hockey team, as you've been saying. A lot of hits after or behind play or after the whistle. No roughing penalties have been called yet tonight, but I think there were about 4 in yesterday's matchup. A pair given late in the third for some 4-on-4 action, and then I think the only thing we got really today was some cross-checking and tripping. Nothing too serious. But I'm still interested to see if the gloves drop.
So we will see. Of course, 20 minutes on the clock here for the beginning of second period coverage. It's right now tied at 2 apiece. Goals scored from Chandler Brown and Henry Humphrey. As for Alabama, James Martin and the freshman Eric Renger with 1 goal apiece. So
Yeah.
we will see kind of who becomes victorious and who starts to break away. It's been a high-scoring game so far. Both referees checking up on their respective goalies. Alabama was late out onto the ice, so they're now coming out, getting into their respective huddles. And we will be underway momentarily, but the biggest thing is to see, who stays out of the penalty box, who takes advantage of the most opportunities. And a big thing that I did see come up is that the amount of quality shots Alabama takes versus the amount of quality shots Auburn takes. Auburn last night, who didn't take as many, now is getting some really good shots off on goal, passes in the slot, inward. But, the replacement for Sam Schillings and Chandler Hill, who did a great job, and we're now underway in the second period. Out with Alabama, who maintains possession at mid-ice, for Mike DeLeese to take it up. Slap shot outward toward the Alabama bench. Puck whipped around into the corner, handled by DeLeese again. 19:40 to go into second, still tie score at 2 apiece. Shot inward, dangerous pass inside the slot. Outward toward the blue line. Wrister taken inward. There from Rores, now whipped around the backboards. Out with it once again is Robeson. Robeson now taking it back up. Auburn's defending third of things here. The Tigers just trying to get a play set up. Puck being bounced around. Now for Humphrey. Humphrey upward, an errant pass trying to find Sam Edwards, unable to do so right behind. Hill in goal for the Frozen Tide. 19 minutes to go, it's still tied up 2 apiece. Puck at the blue line, out toward mid-ice. Blanding now with it. Whips it up along the glass on the near side. Puck at the blue line, out toward Beese. Beese gets it picked off by Verone. Up to Weiss, Chandler Brown at mid-ice. And there's going to be some 2-on-1 action here coming up for Auburn. Pass inward toward the slot to find Chandler Brown, unable to do so. Puck in the corner, and Auburn's attacking third. Back out behind Chandler Hill. Alabama will keep possession. Brown will take it. Now out for Auburn. Picked off once again from Dickinson. Now Brown again. Possession just changing ever so slightly. Pass inward toward the crease, but no Auburn offenseman was there. 18:07 to go in the second. Goals came aplenty in the first period, 2 apiece from both sides. We're tied up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if more goals are scored in the second period for sure. It's about 2 minutes have ticked away, but plenty of opportunities already for both sides.
The first line change for both teams. Jack Driggs coming into the game after a shot there just off the mark from Mike DeLeese. DeLeese with it in Auburn's defending zone. Now working his way up. Haggerty in a one-on-one situation. Being blocked off. Puck bouncing around in the corner. Back behind the goal is Driggs. And the goal will be dislodged, and a bunch of hands grabbing each other. It's starting to get a little physical here early in this second period with 17:30 to go, still tied at 2 apiece.
Yeah, the Frozen Tide there definitely wanting to protect their goaltender, Chandler Hill, there, as Auburn Tigers got a little too close to him, it looked like.
So we apologize for any technical difficulties. We did have to change up the broadcast structure just a little bit. So for those tuning in, it now says Sunday Hockey on WEGL 91.1 FM. You are at the right place. Off the shot from Colin Tate and glove saved there from Chandler Hill. So we're here in the second period with 17:24 to go live. I'm Aiden Kowalski here with Riley Brohl. Auburn 2, Alabama 2. Face off in Auburn's attacking zone. Here's slap shot taken by Humphrey. Humphrey just off the mark. Alabama will take it back in neutral ice. Picked off again from Humphrey. Out with it now is Haggerty. Alabama will control. Behind Chandler Hill. Colin Tate showing pressure here with 17 minutes to go. Drop down at the blue line and taken back by Bama. Puck behind Hayden Harris, and that'll be the icing call. First one of this second period with 16:50 to go.
Yeah, some real heads-up play by the Auburn Tigers defensemen there to try to keep the puck in their offensive zone. Fortunately, they went back on defense, but it is an icing, so they'll go. Is it an icing?
Actually, I don't believe so. They did not cross both blue lines, but there will be a puck drop at mid-ice.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that will be Andrew Beach to win the face-off. 2-on-2 action. Shot inward near the blue line for Auburn, unable to go. Alabama now coming up with it with numbers. Up along the near side is Beast, who will take a wrister off the pad of Harris. Who will get it out. Puck in the corner now for Alabama. Up in Auburn's defending third, getting it out is Roos. Roos now working his way up past mid-ice, off the glass, whipping it around the backboards, trying to find LeBlanc. LeBlanc passes it back to Beach. Now to Roos. And a delayed whistle. It sounds like on the ground. Now coming up for Bama is Lancaster, who will take a wild shot going into the backboards here with 15:57 to go in the second. Still 2 apiece. Puck behind Hayden Harris, the Auburn goaltender. Out for Bama with his Newton. Out to Beast. Beast, who had 2 goals last night, still looking for his first today. Alabama with possession in Auburn's defending half of the ice. It'll be Mumford to pick it off. Up the boards and out. Line changes from both sides. Coming back into the game is Ryan Scott and J.J. Blanding.
Yeah, good job there for Auburn Tigers getting a good line change after they've been out on the ice for quite some time.
So there'll be a stoppage in play with 15:17 to go in the second. 4 goals scored in the first period. No action here in the second as of yet. Tied up at 2 goals apiece. Auburn, who took their first lead of this weekend back in the first period, looks to get back out there, showing some intensity here. Pass inward toward the slot to Verone. Verone couldn't do anything with it. Puck in the corner. Alabama will take control. Working his way up is DeLeese once again. DeLeese on the near side. On the left circle, gets it picked off and taken from Edwards. Edwards now working his way up past the Auburn bench. He'll be shoved into the corner. A cross check from Curtin. Verone, a pass inward toward the slot, trying to find Scott, unable to do so. 14:33 to go in the second. Auburn 2, Alabama 2. A dangerous puck for Bama now. At mid-ice. With it is Sam Edwards of Auburn, who will wrist it from the blue line, nicking off the stick of a defenseman for Alabama. Working his way up is DeLeese once again on the far side. He's going to have to watch that one sail behind the goal. The captain for the Tigers, Chandler Brown, working his way up on the near side. Off the line change was Rores to pick it off for Alabama. Inward near the goal. Puck in the slot for Brown. The wrister into the body of Hill. Now with it is Weiss. Weiss back out to Scott. Scott to Verone, who takes a shot just off the mark. Now with it is Stejko. Stejko in the corner. Shot from Humphrey. Here with 13:34 to play in the second. Puck at the blue line. Bounced around the corner, whipped around the glass. Auburn still in their attacking third of the ice. Puck on the far side in the corner. Who's going to gain control here? It'll be Humphrey. Humphrey now back to Patillo. Patillo at mid-ice. Check in mid-ice. And it looks like there will be line changes from both sides. Riley, what have you seen so far?
Well, right now looks to be some jawing between both teams. DeLeese for the Frozen Tide and Brandon Weiss for the Auburn Tigers seem to get in on it, or seem to have a nice discussion.
Good use of words, discussion. I like
discussion.
that.
They were talking. They were complimenting each other on their hit. That's what was going on down there. But a flurry of big hits and more to come. It's just escalated already in the second period.
Picked off from Tate into the slot, unable to do anything with it. At the blue line for Alabama now with 13 to go in the second. Working his way up along the ice on the far side is Newton. Newton with it behind the goal. Out with it, pass back out to Martin. Martin, who already had as a goal earlier this game. Picked off, 2-on-1 action for Auburn. Slap shot taken off the pad of Hill. Auburn, who had a chance to go ahead. Now with it is Haggerty, and cleared by Mumford. Alabama will try to pass it up along the boards, and that'll be an icing call, so take that puck all the way back into Auburn's attacking zone here with 12:29 to go.
Yeah, second period's almost halfway over. We haven't seen a goal yet, but there's been lots of opportunities. Both sides have been looking really good out here. A lot of back and forth. Both teams are establishing possession in the other's defensive zone.
So now Auburn, and they're in the slot. Dangerous pass inward for the Tigers. With it is Pitzer. Pitzer could not get a shot off. Alabama coming the other way. Beese up along the near side. Shot inward off the pad of Harris. Puck at mid-ice and will be cleared back into Auburn's attacking third of the ice here with 12 minutes to go in the first. Coming up with it for Alabama is Curtin. Curtin on the near side, now in the corner with the puck. Challenged by Blanding. In the crease, dangerous spot to be. Hayden Harris gets it out. Now Auburn making their attack. Up along the far side is Robeson at the blue line. It looks like there will be a delayed penalty maybe.
Nah, just a delayed offside there. Nothing too bad as Auburn gets reset and back on defense here.
This is why you're my color mate. Good work, Riley. Barone now. And Auburn's defending third here. 11:22 to go. Puck hoisted well above, almost hitting the roof of the facility here at the Pelham Civic Complex. Now with it is Edwards. Edwards behind the net. Stolen from Lancaster. Brown now picks it off at the blue line. Humphrey with it. Tried to find Brown, whips it around the boards. There for Edwards to maintain possession. Brown now with it in the near side corner. Brown now at the blue line. Is going to take a shot in the zone. That one's snared and now caught. Pushing off is Chandler Hill. Hill almost got into battle, and there's some roughhousing behind the Alabama net. Currently, that's between Stephen Varone and I believe Kennedy McHugh.
Yeah, that was a good play earlier from Sam Edwards for the Auburn Tigers, getting all the way down on offense to prevent the icing call and setting up a good offensive possession for the Tigers.
So it'll be Kalaman and Chandler Brown to face off on the near side left red dot. Here in Auburn's attacking third with 10:44 to go. A breakaway situation here for Alabama. Up along the near side, who tried to find Dombrowski, unsuccessfully doing so. We're still tied up at 2 apiece here at the Civic Complex in Pelham. Now with it at mid-ice, taking control of the puck is Patillo. Patillo out to Brown. Whipping it up along the boards is Stejkal for Auburn. The referee had to duck out of the way of the puck, given from Hill. 10:14 to go in the second. Alabama trying to make a charge, trying to break this 2-2 tie we're currently in. No goals since the first period of play, and we're halfway through the second now. DeLeese, who whips it back towards Auburn's side. Patillo already with a goal today, has it for Auburn. Working his way up and almost picking it off is Jack Driggs, who successfully did so at the blue line as Auburn currently. And that'll be wristed back toward the net of Alabama. Here with 9:40 to go in the second. Still tied up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Aiden, it is tied 2-2 here, and it's only a matter of time before somebody gets a lucky bounce and a lucky break, bags one home, puts one in the back of the net.
Now within that one into the Alabama bench. And actually, I think that was caught by Sam Schillings, the goalkeeper who started last night's match and was out due to, I believe, a groin injury after what you learned when you went to Whataburger. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, after the matchup last night, went to Whataburger to grab some food and met about half the Auburn Tigers team there and got some inside information on Sam Schillings' back injury last season that put him out for the entire season, and his reoccurring groin injury. I don't know if something happened earlier this season or in practice, but it's been bothering him, and he's sitting on the bench.
Beast now with a shot from the blue line. Near with it, off the mark, here with 8:58 to go. And that's what a good color man does. I appreciate that, Riley. You know, you're a rookie here at WEGL, but, you know, you've done a really good job filling in here, and I do appreciate you being here this weekend. Now, Verone is going to take a shot going off the defender of Alabama in James Martin, who now will take it back for the Frozen Tide. With it now in the slot, Verone, and pushing over, I believe, James Martin. And there will be a cross-check call, so that'll be Stephen Verone going to the sin bin for the Tigers. Alabama will be on the power play.
Yeah, just got a bit too physical there. Verone hit one of the Frozen Tide players in the back, cross-check. Easy call. The referee was right there.
And, of course, going down was James Martin. I'm sure he now appreciates that. I mean, Verone has been really into it this entire weekend with the Alabama bench, and honestly, now the Alabama goalie, Chandler Hilly's getting some bad blood with him as well here with 18:31 to go in the second period of play. So facing off, that one being won by Kalaman. Out with it is Auburn now. Auburn in their defending third, whipping up along the boards and clearing it are the Tigers here with 1:49 to go on this power play for the Alabama Frozen Tide. Losing his stick is Robeson, trying to defend Kalaman from working his way up. The puck is shoved in the boards, and there will be a stoppage in play, I believe, on the ground on the far side. Near mid-ice was Robeson, who lost his stick before and just landed on the puck and really didn't move afterward. So there will be a face-off, and Auburn's defending third here with 8:06 to go. To face off will be Kalaman and Robeson. Robeson to win it, and clearing it out in mid-ice is Humphrey. So precious seconds more being taken off the clock in this Auburn power play kill. Up with it, puck in the corner. Clearing it once again, going out of play into the stands.
Yeah, Auburn's penalty kill unit's getting a lot of work tonight and a lot of work last night. But so far they've locked it down. They got just over a minute to go in the penalty kill. And hopefully they can get off, kill that penalty off.
Joshua Beese and Jack Driggs to face off. Beese to win it. Shot taken from the blue line. And clearing it out is Auburn once again for a third time here with a minute to go on this power play for Alabama. Auburn just had to kill one before back in the first period, did a successful job doing so, but now Alabama making a run at it. Here with Renger. Renger behind Hayden Harris, looking to whip it around. Now out to Beese. Beese inward, back to Renger on the near side. Back toward the blue line is Roriz. Roriz pass inward into the slot for Renger once again on the near side. Alabama still looking to set up a play here with 7 minutes to go in the second, still tied at 2 apiece. Alabama currently has the one-man advantage. It's a 5-on-4 power play. Shot taken inward, deflected off of Jack Driggs. And clearing it is Auburn, maintaining possession is Alabama. Here now back at the blue line, once again is Renger on the near side. Chandler Brown to clear it. He'll successfully do so. There with under 10 seconds to go in the penalty play, and Auburn will successfully kill it.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Auburn's penalty kill unit there. Staying tight, keeping formation, keeping communication with each other, and some really solid defending there as a whole.
And that'll be an icing call on the Tigers. So take that puck all the way back across the ice into Auburn's defending third once again here with 6:19 to go in the second. So we've had 3 penalties so far in action today. I know a lot of more shots on goal, of course, taken by Auburn over Alabama. So Auburn doing a great job of keeping the pressure going. As an attempted shot inward from Newton. Puck bounced around behind Hayden Harris, the goaltender for the Auburn Tigers. The Tigers take possession. Out with it is Verone. Verone working up along the far side in the corner. Slot pass, unable to do anything with it. A great pass. Robeson couldn't handle it. 5:50 to go. Alabama making a charge. DeLeese up along the near side in the corner. Pass inward. Couldn't find anyone. Puck being whipped back around the boards right behind Hayden Harris, and he will land on it. And there will be another face-off on the left dot here with 5:38 to go in the second.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing from both teams, Aiden, is that they're really trying to establish possession in their offensive zone instead of just shooting the puck goalwards and hoping for the best or a lucky bounce.
And we really haven't seen that much here this weekend. It's the first sign of that, of actually starting to develop a play here. Auburn working his way up. Chandler Brown with the 2-on-2 situation will take the shot off the iron and hitting the back glass there. So a good look for Auburn here with 5:20 to go. Weiss now with it. Weiss being checked up against the boards. Callum making sure nothing goes. Whipped along, now to Patillo. Patillo takes a wide shot. Back out to Weiss. Weiss in the corner with Brown. Puck being totally wedged between skates. Now to Brown, who gets it picked off. Dombrowski working his way up along the near side and being checked into the Alabama bench is Haggerty. Puck inward near the crease. Stopped. Great stop there from Hayden Harris. And better defense work from Andrew Haggerty to make sure that puck did not advance any farther. Shot taken from the blue line off the pad of Harris here with 4:36 to go in the second. So we're still tied up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, beautiful save there from Harris. Dropped down in the butterfly to make the save as the puck was repeatedly bounced against his lower pads there, keeping it out of the goal.
Line changes for Auburn coming in as Colin Tate and Jake LeBlanc. And a stoppage in play here with 4:21 to go in the second. Still no goals here in the second period, all coming in the first from Chandler Brown and Henry Humphrey, and then for Alabama and James Martin and the freshman Eric Renger. To face off in Auburn's attacking third to win it are the Tigers and Andrew Beach. Beach now with it behind the Alabama net. Alabama steals it back for Dickinson. Dangerous pass on the inside. LeBlanc with it. And he'll get it stolen by Renger. Working his way up. Clearing it back out as Harrisow. Now for Beese. A big mid-ice check, shaking his head, is Renger. Now up with it. Shot taken from the near blue line by Eric Renger, but a glove save from Hayden Harris and a stoppage in play here with 3:43, so we'll be seeing a face-off.
Yeah, like you said, another big ice check and open ice near the center. And that's becoming common here tonight, or today, I should say.
Today, it is.
Yeah.
only 3:44 Central Time.
Yeah.
Now for Auburn is Blanding. Blanding working his way up, passing it up to Verone. Verone now out to Haggerty. Inward, slot pass inside and stopped. A great play from Chandler Hill to keep this game at 2 apiece. And some action down low, both teams still getting into it. In the middle of the pile currently is Sam Edwards, the sophomore finance major from Philadelphia.
Looked from here that Hill had to make at least 2 saves, I believe. The initial one and possibly a rebound, maybe even more. It's hard to tell from all the way up here.
So Blake Robeson, who wins the faceoff, takes a quick shot at goal, but stopped by Hill. 3:23 to go in the second. Still tied up at 2 apiece. No goals in the second period as of yet. Now for Alabama. Working his way up is Kennedy McHugh. McHugh gets it picked off and cleared out now for Auburn. Varone on the charge. Will pick it off. Now back out to Scott. Scott to Brown. Brown up with it at mid-ice. Whips it back around the boards. Varone taking it, being wedged in the far side corner. Now for Alabama here with 2:47. And there will be a stoppage in play here. Both teams getting some line changes coming back into the game. For Auburn is Jack Driggs, along with Ryan Mumford and Caleb Patillo.
Yeah, I found this out before the game, but Caleb Patillo is battling a bruised rib. Talked to him a little bit before the match, and he said it hurts a lot, but he's going to play through the pain.
Auburn with it at the blue line. Wrister taken, but deflected off by Patillo. Patillo with it once again. Out to Brown on the near side, who's going to take a wrister inward off the pad of Hill. At the blue line once again. Wrister taken again, just wide from Patillo, who's getting his work in today. 2:17 to go in the second. Auburn looking a lot stronger now in the latter half of this period. Alabama to recontrol the puck. At their own blue line. Deflected off. Great work from Driggs. Driggs trying to continue the pressure. Weiss with it in the corner. Back to Driggs behind the Alabama goalie. Pass inward toward the slot, but picked off by Alabama and Renger. Renger working his way up. A little one-on-one action. Shot taken from the near side, and Harris will keep that one out of the net. Chandler Brown now going cross ice, bringing it up at the blue line on the near side. We'll take a wrister inward off the body, and they will call it dead after that puck went off the body of Chandler Hill, and both teams are really getting into a big scrum now.
Yeah, that was a bad call by the referee there. I think he thought that Chandler Hill had held the puck, but...
And I think it actually just went off his body. I think that was the universal signal of catching the puck. My apologies there, but the referee, I'm sure that's what he saw, but then the puck was blown dead as Chandler Brown took it in, and it looks like someone will be going to the penalty box. That's Eric Renger. What did he do there? Did you see?
It was definitely going to be roughing after the whistle. Very common for this, for at least last night. Today, that's the first roughing penalty we got, and I'd be willing to bet that there will be more today. It's been a very, very common...
And a very physical weekend.
Oh, so, yes, extremely.
Both coaches getting explanations for what happened. Of course, Marcel Richard very displeased with the call there. Chandler Brown actually had it behind Chandler Hill after he took that wrister from the slot.
Yeah, the entire Auburn bench erupted as soon as they saw or heard the whistle blow because they still had possession of the puck down in offense, down in the offensive zone.
But nevertheless, Auburn's going to have a penalty play here. Chandler Brown on the near side going behind Hill. Still with possession here with 1:17 to go. Auburn's going to be in power play for the rest of this period. Varone with it. Pass inward toward the slot and unable to go. An open opportunity for Stejko. Now with it at the blue line is Blanding. Blanding, who's going to take a wrister inward off the pad of Hill. A minute to go in the second. Still tied up at 2 apiece, being wedged into the board as the puck. Blake Robeson along with Steven Varone in there. Varone now has it. Wrister taken, trying to find bouncing off the iron. No goal there. And back behind the boards for the Tigers. Watch the high stick. Inward. Once again, the puck just bouncing around in and out of the crease. Now out for Chandler Brown to reset here with 30 seconds to go. He'll take a wrister inward off the pad. Once again, the second chance opportunity, unable to go. Behind the goal is Stejko. Stejko trying to find Brown. Alabama just trying to get the puck out and cleared. They're unsuccessfully doing so. And it looks like they will do that here with 20 seconds to go and 41 seconds to go in the power play. A big back check. And finally a whistle being blown here with 14 seconds. Riley, what are you seeing?
Yeah, delayed penalty call there against the Auburn Tigers. I believe they're going to call tripping on that one. We got a little bit of 4-on-4 for the last 14 seconds of the second period.
So that's really not what you wanted to see here. Auburn had a great chance coming into it. I understand their displeasure with the referees right now.
Yeah, a bit frustrating for the Auburn Tigers for sure.
And it looks like Stephen Roan will be headed to the penalty box for the second time in the last 5 minutes.
Excuse me, it was not tripping, it was actually interference by number 23, Stephen Verone for the Auburn Tigers. That is his second trip to the box today.
Yep.
And
in the last 5 minutes, in fact. It seems like he was just there.
Yeah, he definitely was. And then, interesting fact, before this weekend, Verone had the most penalty minutes for the Auburn Tigers at 10 in the last 3 matches. He's gotten 4 more today.
Well, we have learned why. So now to face off is the assistant in Brandon Weiss. Countering him is Joshua Beast for Alabama. And the whistle blown. And puck drop here with 14 seconds to go in the second. Puck whipped around the boards here with some 4-on-4 action to close out the period. Inward, puck at the blue line, and Auburn's defending third off the back glass. That last shot was taken by John Curtin. Curtin now with an inward, dangerous pass on the inside, and that will be the end of the second period. No goals scored in the second, all coming from the first. It's still tied up at 2 apiece. We'll be heading to the third period action, and who's going to be victorious on the ice to end the weekend here at the Pelham Civic Complex.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A covenant that split the skies over Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended Quezon. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. A promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Sharing has never meant as much as it does now. We share the things we love most in life for the world to see. But what if we could actually do more with our sharing than just collect likes? What if this sharing could be used to make a difference? Now there's a place where we can put all that sharing to good use. The National MS Society is asking people to make a difference and share what they love with someone else who loves it too. Whether it's surfing, dancing, or whatever is important to you, we've created a place that'll help you get your experience out to the world. If you have a story, share it. If you have a solution, share that too. Join us at wearestrongerthanms.org, because together, we are stronger.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to nationalguard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
And welcome back to the Pellick Civic Complex here in Pelham, Alabama. I'm Aiden Kowalski to give you a quick whip around of what's gone on this game so far. Alabama and Auburn currently tied in the intermission of the second and third period. Goals scored by Chandler Brown and Henry Humphrey. As for the Frozen Tide, goals scored by James Martin and Eric Renger. We'll be right back after these short messages with third period coverage.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind.
How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Alabama did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Come on, Dad. I'm running circles around you.
I know, sweetie. Dad's not very fast these days.
What about yesterday? Were you fast yesterday?
No, not.
Or the day before that?
I was.
Or the day before that?
Actually, I wasn't ever really fast. Hard to believe, I know.
Kids are special. Let's treat them that way.
That's okay. When I was little, I wasn't fast either. Now I'm fast, so you'll be fast tomorrow. That's how it works. Now come on.
At St. Baldrick's Foundation, we want kids to be kids, not just during trips to the park, but when they need us most, when they need help fighting cancer. That's why the advanced research we fund is specifically designed to help children.
I'm pooped after all this.
Dad, you're supposed to do that in the bathroom.
Support St. Baldrick's and childhood cancer research today by going to stbaldricks.org and getting involved.
Making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
There are 250 miles of trails in Alabama state parks. That's 250 miles for you to hike, bike, and explore. And it's something we want to share with future generations. Help us improve these trails by becoming a partner in the Alabama State Parks Trail Program. To learn more about the importance of outdoor recreation and how you can help with the development and management of this new trail program, visit alapark.com or call 800-ALAPARK. Sponsored by the Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station. Darren College, a former NFL Super Bowl champion, signed the most important contract of his life to serve in the Army National Guard.
I've had a lot of military in my family. It's a big part of what my family's done for a long time. I want to go out there and make a difference. I didn't find that working behind a desk, so for me it was a pretty easy decision to make. And then the opportunity to serve my community and serve my country was just icing on the cake.
To learn how to be part of the Army National Guard, log on to NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Our daughter might be drinking or taking something else. We can't talk with her about it. She keeps everything secret. But when I pretend everything is okay, I'm keeping secrets too. My therapist suggested Al-Anon family groups. It was helpful to hear what other parents said. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Anderson, and on TV, I play a dad who has it all. But growing up, my real life was very different. My parents taught me that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. That's why they each had life insurance to take care of the future. I got my first policy when I was 18. Now, would your family be okay if something happened to you? If you can buy a latte, you can buy life insurance. It's that affordable. Join me in taking care of our family's futures at lifehappens.org.
A public service message from the nonprofit Life Happens.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And we are back at the Pelham Civic Complex, currently tied up at 2 goals apiece. Both teams scoring in the first period of play, nothing more after that, but it's all decided here in the final and third period of play with just under a minute to go. Riley, take us through some last stats from the first 2 periods of this game.
Thanks, Aiden. But yeah, Auburn Tigers are out shooting the Alabama Frozen Tide 62-39. They've almost doubled the shots of the Frozen Tide for the entire first 2 periods, and look to do so in the third. As far as saves go, excuse me.
As far as saves go?
Yeah, saves go. The Auburn Tigers, yeah. Auburn Tigers goaltender number 2, Hayden Harris, with 24. The Frozen Tide goaltender with 27. 6 penalty minutes apiece for both sides. And the faceoffs won. Auburn Tigers at 20, Frozen Tide at 12.
And we are underway now with the third period. Auburn winning the faceoff at center ice, won by Robeson. 19:42 to go in regulation. We're tied up at 2 apiece. Alabama now back with it at mid-ice. With it now is Newton. Newton near the blue line. Coming in, good pass. Inward to Kalaman, unable to go. Shot taken, blocked by Harris. Here near the corner, pass inward toward the slot, finding Rores. Rores with it in the far side corner, and Auburn's defending third. Here for Alabama now is Renger. Renger with it. Will decide to take a wrister inward off the pad of Harris. Hayden Harris already 2 saves now in this period. Auburn looking to take charge now. Line changes for the Tigers. Coming into the game is Patillo, along with Colin Tate. Now for Alabama on fresh ice here in the third with 18:52 to go. Taken back by Auburn now, and that'll be an offsides call on Alabama. And it looked like there, I believe Cameron Dickinson was just a little too ahead of himself. He looked like having kind of a one-on-one situation with him and Hayden Harris, but you can't cross the blue line before the puck.
Yeah, we got another face-off here near center ice as the Auburn Tigers are trying to kill their 3rd penalty of the night.
And that's right, yeah, with some 5-on-4 action to start that, and Auburn now with 25 seconds to go on the power play kill. So now with Mike DeLeese with it, passing it up along the boards, and Auburn will clear it. 18:30 to go in regulation, still tied up at 2 goals apiece. It's the Tigers and Frozen Tide. Note that Auburn is 0-26 against Alabama in club program history. So this will be their first win if they can get away from it this weekend. But now at the blue line, coming up with it is DeLeese for Alabama. He'll have it pass it inward toward the slot, but deflected off of Jack Driggs. And cleared once again. Both teams now back at full strength. Full line changes. Chandler Brown coming back into the game, along with Stejkal, Mumford, and Harrisow. Wrister inward from Brown on the near side into the pads of Chandler Hill. 17:48 to go. Alabama looking to push. A 3-on-2 situation. Shot inward. Great stop from Hayden Harris. And a stoppage in play. So here with 17:42 to go, and it looks like someone will be headed to the penalty box, and that is Jack Driggs. So some more 5-on-4 action for Alabama.
Yeah, Auburn needs to get some discipline now and stop giving up some silly penalties. As their penalty kill unit's probably getting tired now. This is the 4th one.
And it looks like slashing will be the call. You can't do that, Jack Driggs. The sophomore got a little too ahead of himself, and Auburn's going to have to dig themselves out of this 5-on-4 hole they put themselves in once again. Here with 17:41 to go. And it looks like also going to the penalty box, so we're going to have...
It'll still be a 5-on-4, but he's coming from the bench to the penalty box. I don't know what he did. Maybe said something.
What happened there, but Auburn still has 4 men on the ice, but Alabama with possession of the puck. With it for the Frozen Tide is Rores. Rores on the far side near the blue line, passing it inward. Wrist shot taken and stopped in to the basket of Hayden Harris.
Yeah, number 5, Jake LeBlanc must have just said something to the referee, or he overheard it and didn't like it, so he sent him to the penalty box.
So currently, both LeBlanc and Driggs, are in the sin bin. For what reason, we don't totally know, but there are 4 men on the ice here for the Tigers, excluding Hayden Harris, who's in goal. So we're still with some 5-on-4 action. The referees are trying to get things sorted out here. Everyone's a bit confused.
Yeah, number 5, Jake LeBlanc, got a misconduct there. It was a major, so he'll be sitting out for 5 minutes. But Auburn won't go down another player. It'll still be a 5-on-4 as opposed to a 5-on-3 now.
And, of course, Auburn brought 22 players this weekend, so their bench is actually pretty full. So, going down a player is not the biggest loss in the world, but still, Jake LeBlanc, you don't want him out of the game.
No, definitely. Especially as it's tied 2-2 with 17 minutes to go in the third. I think either side scores another goal. That's probably going to do it.
And possibly the scoring has come to an abrupt halt here. No goals scored in the second period. And now the puck behind Hayden Harris. Alabama with possession. Auburn trying to kill this penalty. Wrister taken, and he'll score. Alabama's Anthony Rores puts them ahead 3-2.
Yeah.
So unable to kill the power play is Auburn. And now both sides back at full strength, excluding Jake LeBlanc, who will stay in there for another 4 minutes.
Yeah, I just got word
seconds.
he's going to be serving the penalty for Jack Griggs for the Auburn Tigers. It's a double major, so it'll be 10 minutes, I believe. He's going to be sitting in there for a long time.
All by his lonesome self with the men in the nice blazer, so he'll have him as company. But outside of that, Auburn now is down a goal. Here with 17 minutes to play in the third, they're going to have to dig themselves out once again. They don't want to go 0-2 on the weekend here against their biggest rival. Alabama now making a charge, a 1-on-3 situation, going inward toward the net. Unable to do anything with it was Lancaster. Now out with it for Alabama is Martin. Martin with it at mid-ice. Alabama takes control back at their own blue line. With it is Stejkal, who gets it picked off by Martin. Chandler Brown, who whips it along, hitting the referee. Puck near the blue line. Challenging him is Weiss. Weiss in the far corner. Alabama, who has it, coming out with a little more aggression here this period. Here with 16-17 to go. Now in the corner is Patillo. Patillo to Humphrey. And Auburn's defending third. The puck lies up against the glass, is it? Near the blue line. Here for Alabama. Riley Newton's going to have a shot. And that one just going off the glove side. And no goal. Now Chandler Brown the other way. He's looking to split some defenders. Unable to get a shot off. In the crease is the puck. But quickly batted back out. Caught by Harrisau. Harrisau is going to take another shot there. Rister once again. Second try. Shot near the crease and unable to do anything with his Auburn. Coming back is Haggerty. Haggerty tried to pass it inside in the slot. Unable to do anything there. Riley, what happened?
Haggerty was making a run towards that crease, trying to pick up the back post pass. Unfortunately, wasn't there for him. Didn't get there fast enough. So we just see another huge mid-ice collision.
And that was Haggerty who went down. You could hear the crowd's reaction after that big hit from Alabama. So now Harrisau on the far side. Looking to set up a play here for Auburn, and their defending third being wedged into the near side corner, just being held and pinned. No call. Now with it is Haggerty once again, working his way up along the far side. Will backhand it behind the net, and Chandler Hill will fall on it. 14:53 to play. Alabama currently leading things there right now in the third period by a score 3-2.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the Auburn Tigers to get back into this. They just need to find another goal quick and set some pace for this third period.
So to face off on the left red dot in Auburn's attacking zone, it'll be Blake Robeson going up against Sam Kalaman. Still in the penalty box is Jake LeBlanc. Whether we can get how much time he is, but he'll be coming in on the whistle, but not for a little while. Quickly, shot taken from Brown. Back out to Weiss now. Scott, who picks it off for Alabama now. Working his way up at the blue line. Shot taken, but off the mark from Kalaman. Here with 14:37 to play behind Hayden Harris. Pass inward toward the slot. Trying to find Rores, unable to do anything with it. Here for Alabama. Auburn just trying to get it out of their zone. With it now is Edwards. Edwards working his way up. A good pass to Robeson. Robeson now with some room. Tried to slide past the defender, but great work from the Alabama defenseman. And Kalaman, and it looks like there'll be a goal. Blake Robeson on the second chance will score and tie things up at 3 apiece.
That was a pretty scrappy goal there from the Auburn Tigers, but regardless, puck found the back of the net. Beat the goalkeeper. That's a goal. We got a tied game in front of us, 3-3 with 14 to play in the third.
So the big equalizer there from Robeson. A huge second chance opportunity. Auburn really does a good job of cleaning up the crease.
Yeah, Robeson scored that, and it was assisted by Verone and Mumford for the Auburn Tigers.
I like that. The democratic effort of the Auburn Tigers tying this game up at 3 goals apiece here with 14:05 to play in the third. Chandler Brown to win the faceoff at center ice. Now with it is Humphrey. Humphrey now back out to Weiss. Weiss behind the Alabama goalkeeper. Now with it is Renger for Bama. Working their way up. It's one-on-one action here. With it is Beast. Beast who's going to take a shot going off the pad of Hayden Harris. Auburn will clear. Weiss losing the puck. Another shot taken. That one going off the backboards. Slap shot inward. Again, Harris saving it. Alabama 3 consecutive shots. Make that 4. Deflected by his own player in Dickinson. 13:27 to go here in the third. It's tied up at 3 apiece. Alabama getting a breakaway chance here. Better Auburn defense work. Chandler Brown in the middle of it. Puck in the slot back out to Auburn's blue line. Brown going cross ice. On the far side near the left faceoff circle. It will go inward, crashing into the boards. Alabama tripping him up on the no call. 13:07 to play. Alabama has possession. Making their way up at their own blue line on the near side in front of both benches. With it is Renger. Renger will pass it up, get it intercepted by Ryan Mumford. Mumford on the far side. Will clear it out. Line changes coming into the game is Andrew Beach along with Zach Roos. Roos who gets it picked off. Alabama looking to make a run and snagging that off is Harrisow. Harrisow will wrist it over. Attempted shot there and now finally caught by Chandler Hill to stop the clock. It was Zach Roos who took the shot from the left face-off circle here with 12:36 to play in the second.
Yeah, this game's getting even more and more physical. 12 minutes to go in the third. Both teams tied. We're almost at the tipping point here. And both of these teams are showing some real physicality out here. Late hits, behind the play. Nothing's getting called. But I wouldn't be surprised if I see some more roughing penalties.
And clearing it down the ice is Roos, which will be an icing call, so take that all the way back in Auburn's defending territory. So it's another stoppage in play here with 12:15 to go. Still in the penalty box on the misconduct is Jake LeBlanc. He's in there for 10 whole minutes. How much does he have left of that? Can you see?
He's got about 5 minutes left to serve, I believe. But reminder, he's serving that for Jack Griggs, who did something on the Auburn bench. I'm not entirely sure, but it was a double major for misconduct.
Not what you want to see out of the Tigers here today. Here with 12:09 to go. Puck right behind. Dangerous pass in the slot. Clearing it out is Roos. So Auburn gets away with one. No icing is the call. Being slammed into the boards is Haggerty. Now with it, a one-on-one situation here for Alabama. One man to beat, and Beast loses the puck. Auburn doing a great job of defense work here this period.
Wonderful stick poke there. He really got it. It was a crucial defending there for the Auburn Tigers.
Beast again on the far side. In the corner, and a huge slashing call going down is Patillo. He got hit in the head hard.
Yeah, that looked intentional from here. I couldn't tell exactly.
That was very intentional.
He swung that over the head and hit Patillo directly on his head.
Cameron Dickinson was the culprit. My goodness.
Yeah, number 11, Joshua Beast there.
Or that was Beast, excuse me.
Yeah.
So we'll see what transpires here. Stoppage in play with 11:30 to go in regulation. But yeah, like you said, I'm not going to be surprised if the gloves drop. You have really called it here. It's just getting more, and that was just obvious. That was obvious.
Blatant. It looked intentional from up here. That was just violent. I'm surprised it's not a major. It was only
I'm surprised.
2-minute minor.
Only 2 minutes. But nevertheless, Auburn's going to have a penalty play here. Inward now to Blanding.
Yeah, they're going to call that a high stick.
High
it was
stick,
more
yeah.
just like a tap almost.
Like imagine having a baseball bat and trying to swing at someone's head with it.
Yeah,
that was not more. That was a little more than slashing to me.
Yeah, that was pretty violent. But regardless, Auburn's going to be on the power play for another minute and 48 seconds here. They've gotten a power play goal tonight.
We'll see if they can do it again.
Yep.
Chandler Brown to face off on the left side, and Auburn's attacking third. Auburn unable to handle that, going back toward their own blue line. Now with it is Roos. Roos up to Humphrey. Humphrey to Weiss. Weiss on the far side, tripping up a defender. Out is Blanding once again. Slap shot taken off the glove of Hill. and down. Still no goal. Puck still in play in the far corner. Auburn with it. Alabama will clear.
Really
10:50 to go, 1:20 to go on the power play.
Yeah, really good high block save there from Hill as a slap shot came from the blue line. That came at him with some pace. I don't think if he made that save that would have found the back of the net.
The ref going down. Alabama almost taking out one of their own officials here. He had to duck out of the way of that one. 1 minute to go on the power play for the Tigers. They're going to see if they can get ahead. Brown on the far side, an errant pass from Blanding. A good check down from Humphrey. Humphrey who has it. Now back out to Alabama in Auburn's attacking zone. And Bama will clear it now with 40 seconds to go on this power play. Of course, Joshua Beese, who took what was called a hooking call to Patillo, but my goodness, that was just blatant. So now Patillo, of course, back on his feet into the game. A pass inward toward the zone, trying to find Verone, unable to do so. At it once again, shot taken, wrister just off the mark there from Patillo. Now with it is Chandler Brown on the near side. At the blue line is Blanding, who will wrist it. That one going off the body of Chandler Hill, the goalkeeper for the Alabama Frozen Tide. Now with 6 seconds to go, Auburn's going to have one last shot at it here. Chandler Brown looks like he'll take the shot. Wrister inward and bodied up by Chandler Hill. That will do it for the Auburn power play. A lot of shots taken, not so much quality.
Yeah, especially with Beast back on the ice now, I think Auburn Tigers are eyeing him down. Somebody has to have a bone to pick with him. This game's only going to escalate. Tempers are only going to get higher. So we're set to take another face-off here with 9.5 minutes to go in the third period.
So it'll be Robeson to win the face-off behind the Alabama goalkeeper. Tries to slip it under. Puck still in play. Out now to Mumford. Mumford with it at the blue line. Whips it around once again, trying to find Verone. He'll do that in the far corner. In Auburn's attacking zone still. 9:11 to go. We're still tied up at 3 apiece. Both teams back on full strength.
Hill's going to cover there. Excellent vision to be able to see the puck behind his own goal and have the heads-up play to cover there as we get set for yet another face-off.
Another face-off on the same red dot on the left side for Auburn. They'll lose it this time. Clearing it out once again. Password inward. And stopped again by Hill. Verone getting into it once again. He's just being shoved into the glass. Things are getting really physical. No one dropping the gloves as of yet, but looks like some guys will be going to the sin bin, it looks like. We're not totally sure.
Yeah, just a quick reminder, if anybody does end up dropping the gloves, it's an automatic ejection from the game, and I think that's playing in the back of their mind right now. Thinking it's a tied-up game.
Just
I can
a lot
be
of
physical.
pushing and shoving,
yeah.
really, was what we're seeing right now.
If anybody is confident enough to drop the gloves, I would say that they'll be tossed from the game, and neither team can afford that right now.
Chandler Brown to win it. That one headed toward the Alabama goal, but unable to go. Here with 8:48 to go, we're still tied up at 3 apiece. Auburn and Alabama in this Iron Cup showdown. Alabama getting a little breakaway here on the near side right in front of the Auburn bench. It's Dombrowski passing it inward. In toward the slot is Beese. Trying to shove it inward. Hayden Harris doing a good job of falling on top of it, finding the puck and having the presence of mind just to stop the play.
Good, confident, and aggressive goalkeeping there from Hayden Harris to cover the puck and give his defenders a rest, or defensemen a rest real quick with 8.5 minutes to go in this tied-up hockey game.
So it'll be Chandler Brown and Kennedy McHugh to face off on the left side, and Auburn's defending third. Here with 8:25 to go, we're still tied up at 3 apiece. Now with it for Auburn. Being shoved into the boards is Stejkal. Alabama will clear, setting the play up here at their own blue line. Almost a good back check from Auburn. That'll clear all the way back. Still in the penalty box serving that major is Jake LeBlanc, who's still there.
Yeah, his time's got to be winding down. I don't know how long. He's been in there for probably about 8 or 9 minutes right now. His time's almost up. It's got to be.
Kennedy McHugh on the last play took a wild shot from the blue line, but it was an easy stop for Hayden Harris, the goalkeeper for the Auburn Tigers. Hayden Harris, of course, the senior from Coleman, Alabama, studying chemical engineering. So props to him, playing a club sport and also doing one of the hardest majors you can get at Auburn. Shot inward, off the face-off. Harris doing a good job of keeping it out. Here with 7:43 to play in regulation. We're still tied up at 3 apiece. It's Auburn and Alabama here on this social media live stream. I'm Aiden Kowalski along with Riley Brull. Now with it is Verone on the inside. That one going under and stopped again by Hill. So it looks like we'll be having another face-off on the right side face-off dot in Auburn's attacking zone. Here with Robeson to win it. Now out to Edwards. To Blanding on the far side near the blue line. Passes it inward to Robeson once again. Back out is Verone. Verone here with 7:14 to play in the third. Whips it up along the boards. But that'll be right there for Kalaman to handle it and whip it up along. Auburn takes back advantage of the puck. Bouncing at the skates of Verone. Auburn, who has possession in their defending third, now whips it up to mid-ice for Alabama. Working his way up is Beast for the Frozen Tide. Taking a shot, hitting Verone. Back out, just some sloppy play here these last 30 seconds. No one's really maintained solid possession as of yet. A wild shot going well wide from Ranger, and another shot off the mark. You could hear it. 6:30 to go. Alabama 3, Auburn 3. At mid-ice, of course, goals scored this game from Blake Robeson, Chandler Brown, and Henry Humphrey. As for Alabama, in James Martin and Kennedy McHugh and Eric Renger. Here with it for Auburn, taking a wild shot from the blue line and snared from Chandler Hill.
6 minutes to go as Jake LeBlanc is finally released from the penalty box there. Heads over towards the bench.
That had to be a lonely stay, so he's probably glad to be back. Now for Auburn, here is Haggerty. Just under 6 to go. We're all tied up at 3 apiece. Now with it is Beach. Now here for Alabama. Mike DeLeese with it. Back out. At the Alabama blue line. Alabama making their way up. Whipping it around the boards behind Hayden Harris. And a big check into the board, slamming Sam Kalaman. The puck is just wedged in the corner between 5 players. Both in different colored jerseys. Of course, Alabama in their red, Auburn in their white, and an open opportunity there from Dombrowski. A big save. It looks like from Hayden Harris. Sticks flying everywhere. No one's dropping the gloves, and it looks like down goes Andrew Haggerty. He got a little hurt on the play. The whistle was blown before the puck went in, it seems. Can you recap that, Riley?
Yeah, the whistle was blown. Hayden Harris covered it and then got forced off the puck, and the puck slid into the net. Crimson Tide started celebrating as if they scored, but I guess they didn't hear the whistle was blown before the puck went into the net. No goal, so we get set for another faceoff.
Chandler Brown to win it. Auburn with possession. Now Stejko up with it right in front of the Tiger bench. 5 minutes to play. Here tied up at 3 apiece. Things have been physical this entire weekend, and we're going to see some more of that here in the final 5 to play. Puck wedged in the corner on the far side. Alabama starting to break away with it. Good defense work there from Weiss. Weiss to Verone now. Auburn still trying to get it out of their zone. Dangerous pass in the slot, off the iron. Shot taken from Chris Dombrowski. He had an open opportunity and couldn't put it home. Auburn just trying to clear it out of their zone. Instead, the pass will go to Rores. Rores takes a shot just off the mark. Here with 4:26 to go in the third, still tied up at 3 apiece. Auburn with it, Chandler Brown securing the puck at his own blue line, crossing mid-ice. A 1-on-2 situation, splitting some defenders, and that'll be a tripping call there. Chandler Brown couldn't go anywhere. I can't see who that is, but Chandler Brown, what seemed like to have a little bit of an open opportunity. was denied from Alabama.
Yeah, pretty simple call there. Not sure if they're going to go with a trip yet. I believe they're going to go with a tripping call. I'm not entirely sure who it was.
Who that is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is number 6 on Alabama. He's not on our roster.
Yeah, but Auburn's got another power play coming up here with 4 minutes to go late in the third period. It's actually going to be an interference call.
And so that's what it is. So it'll be Blake Robeson to face off, going up against Eric Renger of Alabama, up along the far side, the left face-off dot. Now with it for Auburn is Patillo. With it near the blue line. He's going to take a wrister inward. Off one of the skates and deflected just off. Auburn still with possession. Weiss to Stenger once again. Inward. Puck being battled for in the crease. And it did not cross the line, it looks like. So there's going to be a stoppage and play, a big whistle. As there's just a big scrum there right in front of Chandler Hill here with 3:45 to go in regulation. We're all tied up right now at 3 apiece.
Yeah, both teams had to get separated there to avoid another roughing penalty after the whistle was already blown.
Robeson to win the faceoff. Here for Auburn with 1:27 to go on the penalty play. A big check into the boards. Going in was Verone. Auburn will clear, but instead good work from Humphrey to get a stick on it to keep it down. Humphrey from the blue line now, inward near the slot, trying to find Edwards, unsuccessfully doing so. Robeson, the pass inward deflected off an Alabama defenseman. Now to Patillo at the blue line to Verone. Verone's going to take the no-angle shot and stopped by Chandler Hill once again here with 53 seconds to go in the penalty play for the Auburn Tigers in 5-on-4 action and just under 3 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, if this result holds, we're going to go to an overtime period that lasts 5 minutes, and it's 4-on-4 hockey there. And if if it isn't settled after those 5 minutes, we go to a shootout.
And that would be fun to call, let me tell you.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
You know, I'm actually hoping for that now, heck. But Auburn is going to try and finish the job here on this 5-on-4 power play that they're currently in. The puck is in the far side corner, and they're attacking third. An open shot off the crossbar. It looked like there from Brandon Weiss. Had the open opportunity. Chandler Brown now with it, passing it out toward the blue line. Out for Blanding. Blanding still with it. Passing along the far side to Harrisau. Harrisau inward to find Brown, whipping it back around the boards. Back out now to Blanding at the blue line. 2:19 to go, 12 seconds left on this power play. This will be Auburn's last possession here this time. Shot inward off the pad, near the crease, trying to bring it around. Good stop again from Hill. And Alabama successfully kills another power play. They're going the other way now. That's Joshua Beese, who scored 2 last night, going cross ice. Unable to do anything with it. Chandler Brown taking control of it. We're under 2 minutes to play here. In the third period, we're all tied up still at 3 apiece. Overtime is looking imminent. Here now for Lancaster. Lancaster up to Renger. Renger now with it on the far side, trying to split some defenders, but better defense from Blanding. J.J. Blanding, who's shoving the puck in the far side corner, and Auburn's defending third of things. 1:33 to play. Alabama at their own blue line, backhanding it upward, giving it back to Auburn for Harrisau. Harrisau behind Harris, setting up a play here, but instead will just hoist it up along near mid-ice. Aaron pass, Auburn takes possession once again. That's Blake Robeson on the near side. Password inward toward the slot. Nothing could go. Alabama doing a better job of defense. Whistle finally blown. And it looks like that's Cameron Dickinson really upset with that call, slamming his stick into the glass as he goes to the penalty box.
Yeah, that's going to be a slashing call.
That was not a puck going into the glass. That was his stick just absolutely slamming it. Oh my goodness, he is upset, throwing off the gloves once he is in there. So 2 minutes more on the clock. And that is a big 2-minute power play here as Alabama will be down a man for the rest of this game.
Yeah, number 8, Cameron Dickinson, I believe, with the high stick. A minute to go in regulation, but he's going to be serving a 2-minute penalty. And Auburn are on another power play.
We've seen it a lot, but Alabama, it's going to be an interesting one to end this game. 1:06 to go in this third period. We're tied up at 3 apiece. There's a timeout call, but let's just kind of recap what's gone on. In the first period, 2 goals scored from Chandler Brown, Henry Humphrey. Furthermore, in the third period, Auburn scores again by Blake Robeson. Now what do you do if you're Auburn? What's the game plan here? You don't want to get it to overtime, do you?
No, you don't want to. You want to close this out in regulation right here and put an end to that awful streak of 26 matchups against the Frozen Tide without a victory. You want to close it out here, get a goal. You really want to take possession, take your time. You have a full minute to play and get a good look on goal, get a lucky bounce, and hopefully win it right here.
Auburn currently on a 4-game road stand here. Of course, last night against Alabama, now here today. They'll be traveling to FAU on the 11th and then Lynn on the 12th. And then they'll be back home once again at the Columbus Ice Rink against Clemson on the 18th and 19th. So this is Auburn's first real road test, and if they can get a win here today, it'll be the first win of the 2019-2020 season. So Chandler Brown back on the ice. Alongside him is Stephen Verone, Blake Robeson, Loa Carousel, and Henry Humphrey. As for Alabama, of course, Eric Ringer, who had a goal last night and today. It'll be Brown to win it. Here was some 5-on-4 action to finish things off. Auburn trying to score. They don't want to send it in overtime. With it is Verone on the far side in the corner. Passing it up to Harrisau. Harrisau now with it. Now to Patillo. Patillo looking to take a shot. He'll give it back to Humphrey. Humphrey with a wild shot going off the net above the glass and out of play here with 44 seconds.
Solid defense from the Frozen Tide so far on this penalty kill. They have pure desperation right now. 44 seconds to go in regulation and 1:40 to go on the penalty kill for them.
Brown and DeLeese to face off. Brown will win it once again. Brown on the near side at the blue line, passing it up to Patillo. Patillo to Brown. Brown loses it for a second, regains possession. Looking to take a wrister, slap shot off the pads of Hill, and Alabama will clear. The last shot taken from Henry Humphrey had a good look. Here with 23 seconds, Auburn has to make something happen, is going to have one final opportunity here. The game is tied. We'll be heading into overtime. If Auburn can't push across the goal, they're currently on the power play advantage here. Some 5-on-4 action. One last opportunity with under 10 seconds to go. Verone in the far side corner, and Auburn's attacking third here. 4 seconds. They're going to have to get a shot off, and almost went in. That one behind the goal, and that will do it for the third period of play. Stephen Verone almost seals the deal with 3 seconds on a game-winning goal. What would have been will instead be heading into overtime. We're just going to keep it right here just for a little bit, just to kind of discuss what's happened this game. Riley, do you have some stats so far? I know we have first period stats. Our friend Blaine, you know, he was here. He's been assisting the broadcast so far. He was taking stats for us, but we can't give you that right now. But my goodness, what an action-packed game it's been. In the first period, it was 2-2.
Yes.
We didn't see a goal scored after that. I was kind of expecting a little more action.
Yeah, I thought for sure in the second period there'd be more goals, seeing as there were 4 total in the first period. And then in the third period, both teams got 1, and it is tied up 3-3 as we head into overtime here. Just a reminder, it'll be a 5-minute overtime period where both teams will play 4-on-4. But Auburn has the power play, so I believe it'll be a 5-on-4.
And that's interesting because usually in the NHL you don't get that extra 54 seconds on the power play heading into overtime, so that will be interesting to see how that affects Auburn. So still will have that 1-man advantage coming into overtime here.
Yeah, they have 54 seconds of 5-on-4 here in the 5 minutes, and then if it's not settled after that, we go straight to a shootout.
And boy, that would be fun. A first here for WEGL to call a shootout. I'll tell you, that would be exciting times. But Auburn is going to want to seal the deal here, I'm sure, in overtime.
Their coach right now is definitely drawing something up for them, something they've run in practice, something they're familiar with, that they know their bread and butter, that they can find the back of the net easily here, and hopefully quickly.
So some free hockey for the fans here in attendance at the Pelham Civic Complex. a good showing here. Probably about 200-plus people that we've seen so far in the stands. And Auburn travels well to Pelham, Alabama in this first road series of the season. So on the ice for Auburn as both goalies switch sides. Of course, Hayden Harris in the net for the Tigers. It'll be Stephen Verone, Chandler Brown, Henry Humphrey, and on the far side looks like Ryan Scott, I believe. Or no, excuse me, that's Blake Robeson. Alabama will win the faceoff. A quick shot taken but off one of the Auburn defensemen by Joshua Beese. Beese unable to do anything with it. Now back on the attack, Humphrey for Auburn. Taking it up to the near blue line. Up at mid-ice. Passing it inward, having it picked off. 36 seconds left to go on this Auburn power play. Brown with it, giving it up to Humphrey. Humphrey at the blue line, back out to Verone. Verone on the near side, right in front of the Auburn bench. Passes to Humphrey. Back to Verone, back to Humphrey. Verone will take the slap shot. That one off the pad. Off the stick, I actually believe, of Chandler Hill. Auburn will recover. Brown now back out inward into the slot. A slap shot taken again from about 5 feet out by Robeson. Couldn't get anything home, and that will do it for the Auburn power play. They miss out on another opportunity with Eric Ranger coming back in the game for the Tide.
Yeah, it's back to 4-on-4 here with 4 minutes to play. The whistle is blown, and I'm not entirely sure.
I think an offside is the call because they're going to be taking it back to the Alabama face-off circle. So here with 3:57 to go in overtime, if no goal scored, we'll be headed into a sudden death shootout.
Yeah, like I said, that'll definitely be exciting to call, but nerve-wracking for all the players involved on both sides here.
Brandon Weiss to face off the sophomore business major from Madison, Alabama. So here, more stoppage in play. 4-on-4 action in overtime. That's what you're allotted by the referees.
Yeah, right now it looks like we're actually going to a 3-on-3
Oh, yeah, count
overtime,
it that way.
like NHL playoffs almost. Not sure why we're going down to 3-on-3. We started the first minute at 4-on-4.
Weiss checked in the corner. Auburn looking for a call, but they will get nothing. Here with 3:36 to go. Auburn 3, Alabama 3. Whoever scores wins the game. With it is Blanding now behind Hayden Harris. Auburn looking to draw something up right here. Not many men on the ice, a total of 8 men. Now with it working his way up is Patillo. Patillo trying to get it by Hill, unable to do so. With it again is Weiss. Weiss unable to do anything. He is upset. There's been a couple no calls that the referees have missed. Now for Martin. Martin of Alabama working his way in the corner on their attacking third of things. Still no call. The referees are letting the teams play, so it is a fair game, it seems like.
Yeah,
and now there's a breakaway. Shot and deflected off. Jack Driggs had an open look at goal, but a better job from Chandler Hill. 2:44 to play. Alabama working backwards. Now with it slapping it down is Blanding. And the whistle will be blown dead here with 2:35. Riley, what happened?
Yeah, that's going to be a hand pass against the Auburn Tigers. I don't necessarily agree with that call at all. But regardless, the whistle's blown, play has been stopped.
But let's take that back. Jack Driggs had an open opportunity. It was just him, the goalie, and the puck, really all in between of an Auburn victory. And just a great job from Chandler Hill to stop any further action.
Yeah, he made a beautiful high blocker save there. That was surely going on target and definitely going to find the back of the net if Hill wasn't called into action.
So Auburn having to defend now as they're in their defending third of things. It's some 3-on-3 action with 2:16 to play here. Puck whipped along the ice. Racing for it is Harrisow. Challenging him is Dickinson. And that'll be an icing call, so take that one all the way back. Some exciting overtime action, some free hockey for the fans here today with 2:09 to play. Of course, if no goal is scored, we'll be heading into overtime.
It's definitely getting in.
Shootout,
yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, it's already overtime here. 2 minutes to play until that shootout, unless a goal is scored.
So it'll be Robeson and Kalaman to face off. Kalaman to win it. Here for Alabama, and they're tagging third. There's Rores. Rores will take a shot into the glove of Hayden Harris. He'll stop one more. 2 minutes on the clock. The crowd is in appreciation of Hayden Harris on a big stop there. It's still 3-3.
Yeah, both benches are getting really antsy here. Both sides unhappy with the officiating from this overtime period.
I like it. And off the face-off, that'll just go right into the glove of Hayden Harris. So only 2 seconds off the clock, 1:58 to go in this overtime period. Once again is Robeson. Robeson to win it. Now to Patillo. Patillo. And a quick little breakaway slap shot off. A wrister taken from Kalaman. 1:47 to go. An open opportunity for Alabama once again. Nothing could go. Losing his stick there. He's just going to have to go without it. Being tripped up is Patillo. And another opportunity here for Alabama. Renger in the game. Renger now out to Rores. Back to Renger on the near side. Looking to make a move. Without a stick is Patillo. He's just trying to play some defense, and Harris will finally fall on it.
Excellent defending there from Patillo for the Auburn Tigers without a stick for almost a minute there.
And he had the option of going back and get it, but when you play 3-on-3, you just have to get in, body your defender up, and just try and stop anything, and he knew that. He got a little hurt because his hand, I guess something hit him, and whatever happened, I mean, you got to do what you got to do in overtime with 1:17 to play here. Auburn now out with it in this 3-on-3 action. Chandler Brown back into the game here for the Tigers. James Martin for Alabama, who has it at mid-ice. Passes it up to Beast. Beast with it on the far side near the blue line. He's going to take a wrister. Now I'm going past Harris, but wide. Now here for Alabama again. We're at 1 minute to go in overtime. Here with Martin. Martin gets tripped up. Chandler Brown now slap shot taken into the defender's hands. A great job from Harrisow. Harrisow out of Brown. Auburn making a charge up along the near side is Chandler Brown. The shot taken just off the mark and off the glove of Chandler Hill. Here with 42 seconds, Auburn with control of things here. Back out to the blue line is Blanding. He'll take a shot just wide. That one off the backboards. It's Blanding, Brown, and Harrisow. Now coming into the game is Driggs once again for the Tigers. They'll have it here with 26 seconds to go in overtime. The clock is ticking down. Here again, losing possession is Auburn. Harrisow now taking a wild shot, rattling around the boards. Auburn here will look like to have the last sort of possession here. Blanding taking a wild slap shot. Auburn has to set something up with 10 seconds here in overtime. It's still 3-3. Once again, the last one for Blanding. Whips it around the boards. 4, 3, 2. Alabama has nothing to do with it. We're heading into a shootout.
A very, very exciting overtime period there. It looks like to be all possessed by the Frozen Tide up until the last minute almost, where the Auburn Tigers surged forward. Unfortunately, couldn't produce anything in that last minute of possession. But like you said, we're going to a shootout.
What more can you ask for in Auburn club hockey for the first time this season? And I haven't called a game last season when they got into overtime and shootout situation, but we're seeing it here today in this Iron Cup matchup. So the double overtime shootout is called here by the officials. Hayden Harris, and it looks like Alabama, the home team here today in Pelham, will be shooting first. Hayden Harris has his work cut out for him. On the other side of that will be Chandler Hill.
Yeah, this is definitely nerve-wracking for every single player, every single shooter, and both goaltenders. They've practiced these. They know what to do, but it's all about execution here in the final stages of this game.
Out on the ice right now is Loic Harrisow, along with Chandler Brown and a couple others. We're not sure who's going to be taking the shots here, but we'll get him to you. They're just trying to get it figured out who's going to be taking the shots from both sides. But, man, this is going to be one exciting shootout play here. You don't see this too many times in club hockey. Auburn had countless number of chances along with Alabama just to score in that last period, but both goalies who've done a great job of just keeping it out of the back of the net. I really thought someone was going to score there. Of course, Auburn on power plays this game hasn't been as efficient as we've seen earlier, and that's what has led us here.
Yeah, Auburn really hasn't, unfortunately, produced. They've only had 3 goals on this game, but that is out of character for them for sure.
A little bit, yes.
But I think it's due to a lot of unlucky bounces, some miscues on both sides. But regardless, we're here. Shootout.
And it looks like Chandler Brown will be taking the first shot here for the Auburn Tigers. In the goal is Chandler Hill. Chandler v. Chandler. And Auburn looking to strike first here in this shootout action. Brown standing at his own blue line. The puck right in the center of mid-ice. The whistle's blown in. Brown with it on the near side, now at the blue line. Coming up with it in the slot. Deeks is the goalie, and no goal there, so a stop there from Chandler Hill. Brown could not finish. And I believe it's the first to 3 in this shootout situation. Brown unsuccessfully doing so it'll be the freshman Eric Renger up now for the Frozen Tide. The senior Chandler Brown from Coleman, Alabama, to try and keep Auburn in this. Renger now at the blue line. Try to deke Harris. And no goal off the post, it looks like. He had Harris beat. And the Auburn faithfuls in attendance today are appreciative of that. That one just going off the post. Harris, who had, he was beat, it looked like.
Yeah, some very fancy stick work there from the Frozen Tide, and he really did have Harris beat, but could not execute. And that's what this game has shown us up here today. The execution for both sides wasn't there.
Jack Driggs now with it, coming up past the blue line. Left, right. Going for it, and another stop there from Chandler Hill. He tried to go through the 5-hole, unsuccessfully doing so. And notice no one's tried to go top shelf yet. They've just tried to go one-on-one and try to beat their man in the goaltender.
It's all about trying to make the goaltender lose the puck there, lose sight of it for even a split second, and you've got him beat, and you can find the back of the net.
John Curtin, who had a goal in last night's match, now with it. Going up along the near side. Rister trying to deke Harris, unable to do so, and off the pad. Still no goals here in the shootout.
Yeah, I believe it's a best of 3, so right now tied 0-0 with the third
0-0.
shooter up for both sides.
And it looks like that'll be Blake Robeson, already with a goal tonight so far. Of course, 3 periods, 1 overtime. It's all come down to this. It's Robeson against Chandler Hill. Robeson now with the puck at the blue line on the far side. Coming fast. He'll shoot, and stopped once again from Chandler Hill. Both goalies immaculate so far in the shootout.
Yeah, 65 minutes of hockey played here tonight, and both teams are tired. It shows.
But it's all coming down to this. Both teams standing up on their benches now with Joshua Beese here at the blue line, coming straight up against Harris. He'll take a wrister, trying to go top shelf and off the glass. No good. So we'll keep going at it. Their coaches are just going to keep sending out players, and it looks like it'll be Brandon Weiss up next for the Tigers. First time we've seen top shelf from either of these teams. Now with Weiss, who has control on the far side. Coming up. We'll take a wrister, trying to split past and unable to do so on the no-angle shot. Chandler Hill stops it once again.
Yeah, unlucky there. Weiss really looked to have him beat. If he could have just gotten that puck up above that lower pad, he would have scored.
So Cameron Dickinson will try again for Alabama. Still 0-0 in this shootout. Going up against Chandler Brown. Dickinson with the puck. Slowing down, trying to deke him, and going right into the pads of Harris. Harris was not fooled.
No, not for a minute there, Aiden. He knew what he was going to do all the way. The second he started skating, he telegraphed it.
So now it'll be Steven Verone. Steven Verone, who's had his fair share of penalty minutes, is going to get some action here to try and put Auburn up 1-0 in this shootout situation. He'll have it going up along the far side past the blue line. With it is Verone, now losing the puck and unable to do anything with it. Another stop there from Chandler Hill. Verone upset with himself on that one. He had the puck, then lost it for a quick second, but that was just enough for Chandler Hill to come out of his goal a little bit and make sure there was no further advancement. Now it'll be Anthony Rores, the senior from Oak Park, Illinois. We're getting into the defenseman shooting now. So Rores up along the far side, working straight up to Harris, and he'll go top shelf and score. And that will be the end of the game. The Auburn Tigers fall by a final score of 4-3 in this shootout. Alabama takes 2 this weekend. You hate to see it, but my goodness, what an effort put in by both teams. And finally, with the winning goal, Anthony Roras, the senior defenseman, finally seals the deal for the Frozen Tide here in Pelham, Alabama.
Yeah, unfortunate result for the Auburn Tigers. Wasn't what we were hoping for up here, but...
Oh, man. What a game. 65 minutes in a shootout. All came down to that, but that's going to do it here this weekend from the Pelham Civic Complex. My goodness, Auburn drops a close one in shootout. We played 65 minutes and a shootout that just wasn't enough. We're just going to kind of recap it here. Blaine, go ahead and play the post-game show open. So Auburn drops it by a final score of 4-3. Welcome to the postgame show of Auburn hockey. Auburn drops 2 this weekend. Riley, what have you liked out of this weekend? What have you not liked?
Well, I always enjoy watching hockey, Aiden, but this weekend it's a tale of 2 separate matches, especially because the first match, Auburn and Alabama were very neck and neck, back and forth, a lot of play. But this matchup today, this afternoon, I think Auburn had it. They were out shooting the Frozen Tide. They were outplaying the Frozen Tide throughout the entire 3 periods. They just couldn't get a lucky bounce or a lucky goal to finish it. Ended up tying 3-3, going into overtime. The 5 minutes at overtime, no goal. So we went to a shootout, which is golden goal, and the Frozen Tide sealed it right there on their home ice.
And really the unfortunate thing, Auburn had lots of opportunities to come back after so many power play opportunities. Alabama just did a better job of killing those power plays off. I remember coming into overtime in the last 2 minutes of regulation of the 3rd period, Auburn had the one-man advantage, but they just couldn't push anything across. Of course, to finish off the night, goals scored by Henry Humphrey, Blake Robeson, and Chandler Brown for the Tigers, but I think that's going to do it here. Of course, this Friday, Auburn takes on FAU in the continuation of their 4-game road trip. Thank you for tuning into today's game on this social media live stream broadcast. For highlights and full game broadcasts, check out our SoundCloud page by searching WEGL 91.1 FM. For updates about future broadcasts and more Auburn hockey, follow us on Twitter. And Auburn loses by a final set score of 4-3 in a shootout. For Riley Brohl and Blaine Tucker, I'm Aiden Kowalski wishing you a pleasant rest of your evening and war damn hockey from the Pelham Civic Complex.